So let's start with a quick question. How many of us have used Salesforce in the past to manage our sales pipeline? Show of hands. Okay. How many of you have found that experience frustrating, annoying? Maybe it made you cry? Okay, a few. So I know a lot of people who feel that way, and that's why we have WalkMe, which is a digital adoption platform to help alleviate some of those problems. So the way WalkMe works is that it's an overlay on top of your site. So that's WalkMe. That's that little help center in the bottom right corner. That means that no changes to your software are really required. WalkMe just sits on top of it. And when you click that little help center, you get this menu that offers you a whole bunch of guidance options. So as a salesperson, I might say, how do I close an opportunity? How do I create a new one? How do I do any of those things? Once I click an option from the menu here, I get my step-by-step guidance. This is what we call a tooltip balloon, and it can basically interact with anything on the web, which means that you can point to it and say, click here. WalkMe has a 3-layer approach to accelerating user adoption. The first is guidance. That means that whatever process your users have to do on Salesforce or any other platform for that matter, you get steps from A to Z. That means we take you through the whole thing. Next is engagements. So these are call to actions that we can place anywhere on your site. Now they're contextual, which means that they understand the audience and the context of your message and display it only to specific people who can then click and get the guidance that you offer them. And then finally, our Insights platform. So what this is doing is collecting data not only about the guidance that you've created, but about your site. Where are there problems? Where are people spending and wasting time? And how effective is the guidance in addressing those issues? So there's a lot of powerful machine learning that goes into the Insights platform. There we go. So companies spend lots of money on Salesforce. And when you first got trained on this platform, you probably got a manual about this big, look familiar, maybe a gallery of training videos. But how many of us actually remember training from that first week? I don't. Do any of you? Anybody remember training from their first week? One person in the back. Good for you. Good memory. Okay, that's because of the forgetting curve. That means that 10 days into your training, you've already forgotten what you've done on day one. So as a salesperson, if I need to create a new opportunity, that's 20 days after I first got hired, I don't remember how to do it. I don't know. And so what WalkMe does is make sure that you don't have a forgetting curve. As a salesperson, I can always open WalkMe up, say, how do I do this? And it will take me through the process. I don't need a video, I don't need a knowledge base article, and I certainly don't need to bother my colleague and say, how do I do this? Can you spend 10 minutes? I'll buy you a coffee. So instead, we're going to use WalkMe. So just excuse me for a second while I get this demo up. Here we go. So I'm sure many of you have been on this screen before. This is the Salesforce homepage. To me, it sponsors depression and anxiety a lot of the time. So what I'm going to do is ask WalkMe to take me through a process that I've forgotten how to do. I'm going to open the WalkMe widget. That's this guy over here. Type in opportunity, and I get a guidance option, how to create an opportunity. Once I click that, my guidance begins. So this is a WalkMe tooltip balloon. It tells me to click opportunities, and it recognizes the action that I've done, and that's how it triggers the next step that you'll see here, which is click new. So then I get to this page. Now I have to do data entry, which is, I'm sure, one of the tasks that we all love to hate. This can get really annoying. Salesforce gives me a few indicators what is mandatory, so an opportunity name. I'll go ahead and enter that. The amount, let's just call it $1 for now, a close date, and a stage. So that's what Salesforce has marked as mandatory. But before I go ahead and click Save, I'm going to use this call to action. This is the engagement part that we talked about before, to check if my form has been completed correctly. So it's telling me here, please complete this field, must start with test. That's because I have a typo here, so it's checking for that. I'll click next. I still did not write test properly. There we go. It's telling me I've missed type, so I should choose something in this menu. Now I'm ready to save. So not only is WalkMe telling me what to do exactly when I need to know, it's also validating that I've entered this data correctly. So I don't need to go back and fix the form, wait for it to save, have an error message appear 2 or 3 times before I successfully manage to submit this form. Instead, I get all the information that I need right then and there. Let me go back into my presentation here. So here are some companies that have used WalkMe to help with employee productivity, and a few ways to use WalkMe to announce a new platform or a rollout plan, enhance traditional training, so use someone like me, a facilitator, and WalkMe to make sure your hires get the information that they need, self-service training, so you don't even need a facilitator. I'm out of the job, WalkMe can do all of that stuff for you. And of course, it's personalized, which means that it knows who your user is, it knows what page they're on, and they're presenting the call to action contextually. So you're never going to see something that you don't want to see. Royal Canin is a company that's used us for training and onboarding. They've reported a 51% drop in training time and a double-digit drop in onboarding time. That's a lot of hours saved. And we can really pinpoint these numbers using our analytics platform. So these are not just numbers we invented or pulled out of a hat and said, oh, it looks like we're spending less time. All of this is measured in the analytics platform, so we can see how long people are spending doing the training, how long it takes them to complete tasks, and we can see that it's taking them less and less time. So we all know that time is money. So let's break it down really quick. If we implement WalkMe on our site and we save 1 employee an hour and a half a week, that's not a lot. I think that's a good email session. That's how long it takes me to respond to emails in the morning in any case. If I implement WalkMe and I save an hour and a half a week, that's 77 hours a year. If we're calculating 22 bucks an hour, that's almost $1,700 a year I've saved in time. So it's not just about that 30 minutes that you didn't spend asking your colleague and then going out to coffee. It amounts to a dollar value at the end of the day. So it's thanks to our customers, many of them Canadian, like BMO and Royal Bank, that we constantly improve and innovate with our product. We work across lots of different industries, including healthcare, insurance, banking and financial services, lots of testimonials and other people wanting to sell WalkMe on our website, so you can check that out if you're interested. And if you have any questions, feel free to approach me after the panel or email nickj@walkme.com. He is a colleague of mine who can help answer all of your questions. Thank you so much for your time and your attention.
Hello. All right, we got a fully functioning mic. Thank you very much, Mika. Love seeing WalkMe. We have a couple minutes for questions, so if anyone has some questions for Mika about WalkMe or how they've implemented other companies or maybe how they use it within WalkMe themselves, feel free to ask. Forever hold your peace. Are there any questions for Mika at WalkMe?
All right, feel free to,
right
we
there.
have one.
Can you repeat the question?
So it sounds like you're asking the slide before. Oh, we just changed it. Never mind, that's okay. It talked about how we're estimating for 1,000 employees. So most of our customers are SMBs or enterprise level companies, and they have 1,000 employees. That being said, we also have a startup edition, which means that we have an edition for smaller companies who want to use the platform. We want to get it into your hands, and there's pricing accordingly.
One more question.
Is this just for the back office or the contact center as well? Is the software is for the back office or the contact center as well?
So what WalkMe does is provide that guidance and engagement as well as the back-end analytics and the machine learning to help you identify problem areas of your site. So it's a comprehensive solution to guidance, engagement, and basically information as to what's happening on your site.
Thank you.
Cool. We're going to hold off on the questions just in the interest of time. Find Mika afterwards. Stay a bit. Have some fun. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.